About 3 days ago, these mushrooms started popping up all in my backyard. And I was surprised. I was like, where did these come from? And it looks like they're already starting to die off, or either something ate them. I promise it wasn't me. Mushrooms grow in yards when the conditions are right for fungi that live underground to respond to changes in the light, temperature, and water. All these conditions were present at the time. The weather went from hot to heavy rains and to a drastic change in temperature. Plus, stumps and other decaying matter are a big culprit for mushroom growth. I just couldn't believe it because they came all of a sudden and in spots in the backyard. And of course, now that I'm cutting grass, I don't want to cut over them because it's going to cause the mushrooms to spread throughout the yard. And it looks like some of them are already dying. I've seen this species, and some of these species are edible, but you got to know what you're doing, and most even experienced mushroom growers do not eat this species. Well, they're getting ready to get dug up. As you can see, the color kind of varied from the light brown to a darkish brown color. And it looks like this one's already dying off or decaying or what have you. But I'm telling you, it smells like poop. And there's a lot of flies flying around in this little area. I've been digging up these mushrooms now for, I'll say 10 and 15 minutes. And look how much I have. This is like a pot. It's pretty large. And it's just full of those mushrooms that were in the yard. I got 1 or 2 more spots and then I'll be done. Now I've zoomed in close just so you can see the wild strawberries that are growing in the yard. And they were here earlier this spring, but a lot of birds are just flocking in and eating the strawberries. So now they're starting to reappear. I haven't eaten any and not sure if they're edible or not. But there's quite a bit of them just in this general area. Now when I was working on getting sorry, I dropped my cell phone because a blackjack landed on my wrist. They started coming on the other side where I was pulling up those mushrooms. I don't know if it's food for them or if the odor caught their attention, but I left the area. Some of you might ask, what happened to the birds to where they're not eating the strawberries? Well, if you can notice, you see the lines going across. It's actually the power line. So with the company here, used to be IPL, I can't think of it right off the tip of my tongue, AES, they sent out tree trimmers to trim everything away from the lines because in so many other areas, they were having a problem with the wind and the trees getting caught into the power lines. So it came to my benefit that they cut and trimmed my yard again, as well as the trees, which a lot of birds lived in those shrubberies, unfortunately. So they're all cut down, and they cut it so that even if the trees fall, it's going to fall away from my property. It will fall, unfortunately, but fortunately, in the direction opposite the power lines. So God has encompassed me with safety round and about my entire yard due to power lines. And I'm grateful, and I pray and hope that none of the trees fall. I guess they may have followed me. Now, there's something, I guess they're moles digging up in the yard as well. And I pulled some kerosene on the Moe Hills. I'm going to go ahead and stomp them down, and hopefully they'll move on somewhere else. So there's a lot going on the homestead today, but I've got most of the grass cut, and I only need to cut the area where the mushrooms were growing, which is this small area right in here. So this is a day in the life of time of Say a Lot. Thank you for viewing. Remember, I have information in the description. I have a couple of journals that I sell. Please support me and purchase one of the journals if you will. And I want to thank you for viewing. Please subscribe to the channel and also give me a like. Thank you. Have a good one.